Hey, great to have you with us again on The Pastor and the Professor. And Dr. Pavla and I, we just hang out and we just figured, why don't you hang out with us for the next 25 minutes? Right?
And we appreciate very much that you do that. So thank you for watching with us as far as we've gone. Or maybe you're new to us now, and welcome. Thank you for joining us on our journey of this house of faith that we live in. And we've been taking steps getting to the door, entering first things. Those are our first ones. And now today we get to a really important kind of middle step. And
Right.
that is love. Oh, I thought you were going to say that. Okay. Or you could ponder.
I was going to say love, but I thought you were winding up
No.
to hey, love.
No, you're the baseball player. I was going to just slow pitch that thing in, and you're going to...
You tossed me a softball, and I
Which proves
didn't even swing.
how much practice we do before we do this.
Or it proves how much practice we should do
That's that too.
before we do
That's
this.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Someone has probably been mentally telepathying us that idea.
Yeah.
And they say, finally, it came through to these guys. Well, anyway, we're going to talk about a central activity in the house of faith, which is love. I
Right.
mean, how can we
Yep.
beat it? But I'd like to kind of get to it in a maybe a little different way and in a Pavlovian fashion, a story with a show and tell. So
I'm pretty excited about hearing this story and the show and tell.
Well, do you know a Stanley Compass plane? Let me explain. I was reading in Fine Woodworking magazine, which I'm sadly behind in my reading. It comes to the library. I don't subscribe. But
Attaboy.
I know. You have to love the public library.
It's like Highlights magazine. It's the only reason I went to the dentist.
There you go.
Just-
it's
just-
that, right?
Exactly.
So I had an article, why you need a compass plane. Why you need a compass plane. I've got planes. I've been in a workshop for a long time. I've never even heard of a compass plane. So I'm reading this. And by the way, a compass plane, if you can see the picture, has a curved sole. The bottom of the plane is curved. Every other plane in the world is dead flat. Well, this one curves. And so you could do, I don't know, a
Arms
seat,
on a
arms
rocking
on a
chair,
rocker.
sure.
You're doing a headboard. It can go the other way, and you can go over the top. I thought, that would be great. Except, well, if you want a brand new one, they're $400, so that killed that idea. But they said the best one was made by the Stanley Plane Company, Stanley Tools, in the first half of the 20th century.
Oh,
But they haven't made them for 50-plus years. So you might find one on eBay, and if you do, you're going to pay big bucks. And I thought, oh, well, it's too bad. And there's a picture. There's the Stanley.
Oh, sure.
It's the number 113 plane. And I looked at that, and then I thought, gosh, that looks familiar to the one I have sitting in the shop. And this is a Stanley, and you can verify for our readers, our
Yes,
listeners.
I can-
It says
I can-
Stanley number 113
yep,
plane.
it's the real one.
And I thought, well, I have that, don't I? And oh, by the way, if you turn this, it changes the shape of the sole, and it goes from flat to curved. You can see the little gears moving, and it's wonderful. Now, as I remembered it, I thought, well, it doesn't really work, and here's the story. We had a wonderful member, this is in Butternut, Frida Tank. She played organ for us for 72 years. What a record. Frida and Rudy. Isn't that a great name? Frida and Rudy. They had no children. They lived out in the country, out on the farm. And one day, Frida called me up and said, say, Pastor, come on out to the farm. I've got some stuff I want you to have. And she knew I built things and did furniture and such. So I drove the Model T out to their farm and went in. And lo and behold, her father had been a carpenter, was a carpenter for many years. She still had the tools that he had. Again, no children. She wasn't going to hand them out to somebody, and asked if I would like some of the tools. I said, well, yeah, that'd be great. And one of them, kind of the most interesting, was the Stanley number 113 compass plane. And I didn't know what it was. And it was stiff. It didn't move. It was dull, and all that. But I took it and such, and I just put it on a shelf. I wasn't aware of what it was until I read this article that says, you should have one of these. And I said, yeah, but I'm never going. Wait a minute.
It looked familiar.
And I do have one. I just didn't realize the treasure I had.
How long did you have it before you realized what you had?
It got to be 3, 4, 5 years, easy.
Really?
Just sitting there. And a couple other planes that she gave, was very generous. And then I realized, and then just took it apart, cleaned it up. And you don't repaint these things.
No.
I guess in the old the old tool world, just leave what paint. There's a little paint left from the Stanley Works. You just leave it, but it absolutely works. So the theme is, think about what you have that you think you need and you should have someday, and then something taps you on the shoulder and says, you have it already. Oh, I do. I should pay more attention to what I have. And instead of seeking what I don't have, love the gifts I've already got. And that, I hope, leads us to love. Yeah. That love the gifts he's already given that might be sitting on a shelf or forgotten or not even realized, or that we've put aside and they need a second look. Yeah. And so I was just thinking, love looks at what we already have, and whether it's been in full view or it's something we've sort of missed, love says, look at what you already have. And then the next one, I've got a little, now don't think very much of me. So we got the Stanley plane here. Where do you find one? Again, you could race to eBay and try to look for one, but good luck. It's going to be expensive. And yeah, right, bring your wallet. It doesn't look familiar. Now, the next one is we're going to try to impress people. So I want you to read the Shakespeare sonnet number 116, because you and I are reading Shakespeare every day, every night, I'm sure.
I hate to tell you this, but a couple nights ago I was.
Really? See, aren't you good?
Yeah.
And I was the English major, and I don't.
I was an English major until it conflicted with baseball.
And you got to choose.
Because there was one class that only met on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, and it was required for English major.
Sure.
But we played double headers, and they wouldn't let me take an independent study. So, therefore, I'm a psychology, sociology major and an English minor.
And those English people lost the treasure of what you could have been an English prof at CUW for the last 40 years.
No.
Hey, but hit it, Mr. Actually reading Shakespeare in the evening.
In the evening, yes. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds.
Which is a wonderful thought. If you say the start of a relationship, love you forever, and then something changes and you say, you know what, I didn't see this coming. Yeah. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That's not really love. No. So let's look at something that does not alter when an alteration finds, or also my Stanley 113 imagery. Instead of looking for a treasure you don't have, realize the treasure is here.
The treasure you do have.
The treasure you do have.
Yeah.
Now, I know we've been giving people my country song lineup here. We did Luckenbach, Texas, I think twice.
We did.
I'm going to go with Alan Jackson. His song, Where Were You? And if you remember, it was one about 9/11.
9/11.
And he has a line that said, did you just thank God you've got someone to love?
Yeah.
And I like that line because it isn't, did you just thank God somebody loves you as much as they ought to?
Yeah.
Know that you got somebody to love. It goes the other direction.
Yep.
And I think that's the theme of love, that we love that treasure that we have, realizing, oh, what do I have? Even though at first glance, and again, it looks a little rough now, trust me, it looked rougher then. But look at the treasure we have, not just looking for another. Or if the treasure we have has changed, then I'm out of here. No.
Yeah.
So there's my Alan Jackson. We won't sing it.
I'm always nervous about the young ladies who figure once I marry him, I'll fix it.
Yes. Yeah. I'll get all the kinks out. I'll polish them up.
Yeah. Repaint it.
It won't even look like the same person at all.
No. I'll de-dormatize him. He'll be okay.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
My wife will tell you about de-dormatizing.
There you go.
And that it doesn't always happen.
Yeah. No, so you can leave the frat experience behind and no. All right.
Yep.
So there it is. So now we're talking about love. And so we've come into this house of faith. We prayed. That's our approach. We gave thanks. We focused on what we could do. Today I can do at least this. And now I think we have this broader picture, and that is love.
Yeah.
Now we're in his house. Let's talk about what brought us in, which is at its heart, love. And what can we do?
And what
Well,
keeps us in.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and keeps us busy.
Yep.
You know, because we're not just brought in here to be couch potatoes, put our feet up on the
Right.
TV trays
Yep.
and say, what next? No. So on to love. What do you got? I don't know. Open the windows and turn up the heat seems a little contrary, you know, but I was bitching that whichever one you need. You know, yesterday, we're recording this on a second of a perfect day.
It is.
I was in the office. I had both windows wide open. It was heaven, like 72 degrees outside, inside. Birds were swinging. Open up the windows.
Yeah.
On the other hand, about 3 months from now, forget it.
We'll
Both
be-
those things down for the next 6 months.
We'll be turning.
Turn up that heat.
Yeah.
Yes. So, all right. So, what does love do?
Forgives,
Oh man.
prays, does good things,
So,
but it does them without expecting anything in return, and it
Right.
does them before you even wait for something
right.
worthy,
Right.
right? So I forgive you not because you've met my expectations
Right.
now.
Right.
I love you.
Yeah.
I pray for you not because you're always befriending me,
No.
but what would happen if we prayed for our enemies like Jesus said we
Yes.
should, right?
And
Right?
and even without a significant change.
yes,
You know, we
Yes.
might give them a short leash. Okay, I'm going to pray for you today, but if I don't see some improvement, forget
done.
it. You're
Yeah.
done. Before the weekend's over,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that would be it. Also, that forgiving, it's right at the start because we don't mesh perfectly. But, you know, the Stanley plane has these little gears that mesh just beautifully.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how we always are.
No.
No. The one doesn't always instantly follow the other. It does on a Stanley plane, but so what do you have to do when the gears don't mesh? You got to forgive.
There's a lot of
It's
forgiveness
that lubrication between us.
required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is like an oil bath for the gears.
Yeah.
Okay, it makes it better. Might not perfect, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
And forgiveness realizes that this might happen again.
Yes, it does.
So, we don't have a Jesus who says, I forgave you 7 times.
And then
That's
you're
it.
done. That's
Well-
it. In fact, I felt stretched to do 7.
Yeah.
But I sure was counting. You know,
Yes.
if anybody who
Yeah,
asks
yeah.
that question, they're counting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I notice in marriage counseling, when someone comes in and they're struggling, I'm always concerned when I hear numbers.
Mm.
I told them 7 times yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And this is the 6th time that she hasn't put gas in the car after she used it, and I'm late
Yeah.
for work. That whenever we get numbers, it just triggers something in
It
me.
does.
It's
It
like,
almost-
we're
yeah.
keeping track now.
Yeah. I almost want to see where's the record book. You must have a little book
has
here,
to be.
and maybe trade them with each other.
Yeah.
Well, you were counting that?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
kidding
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Oh, gosh. But the other side of that is you forgive, and yes, it might happen again. But haven't you also had to tell people it won't always be like this? You have people in despair and just so downhearted
Yep.
in a relationship or themselves,
Yep.
and it does not have to stay this way. Psalm 30, verse 5, weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And I've always said to people, he can't say that and say, oh, well, not for you, though.
Right.
You're going to be an endless night.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so the forgiveness comes if I love you, I forgive you. But let's turn it around. If you have forgiven me, I love you so much that I do want to improve.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to do
absolutely.
that again.
Right. Because now I realize how important that was to you.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I did. I don't know. But, let me at least start the journey of being better.
Yep.
It's like, again, you take an old plane that's all, it is not instantly workable, but you start turning. You start turning the knobs. You start working things, and that's just life with each other,
It
life with
is.
ourselves.
It is.
Seeing that change. Absolutely. So do good, and then forgive as the Lord has forgiven you. Our next one there, and isn't that a great model? Because I think without that, he'd say, forgive as others have forgiven you. Boy, you talk about the accounting that would come out there.
Oh, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
I'm only going to go as far as has been done to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not stopping. And I'm waiting for you to take another
Yeah.
step, and then I might. Oh, gosh.
Oh, Leonard Sweet talks about that, about the iron rule, do unto others before they do it unto you. And then he says, and then there's do unto others just like they do unto you.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Right.
And then there's do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Golden
Right,
rule.
right.
And then, but then Jesus kicks it up a notch right before the crucifixion, resurrection, right? And he pretty much says, do unto others like I do to you.
Yes, right. Forgive as I have forgiven you.
Yeah.
Love as I have loved you.
Yeah.
Oh. And now
Which is
we're
the titanium.
exactly.
Nothing's breaking that.
No, the highest scale.
Yeah.
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 And see then, if I can go back to my illustration,
Yeah.
that would be like saying, oh, there's this $400 brand new plane and it exists. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. I'm not buying a $400 plane.
Yeah.
By the way, you don't use this every day in the shop anyway.
Right. Right.
You've lived a happy life without it and
Yeah.
such. So you can have these extraordinary things. You can look at them and say, yeah, but it's never going to happen to me. But then Jesus says, love as I've loved you, forgive as I've forgiven you. The highest things that he's done, he now says, you can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not, oh no, don't even touch it. Don't think about that.
Yeah.
But he puts it in our hands and says, here, do that.
Yeah. So how can I forgive that person? And Jesus says, well, it's not really your forgiveness. It's
Right.
mine. I've already given it to you. You
Right.
get to share it.
Exactly.
Oh, how do I love that person?
Oh.
Well, trust me.
yeah.
I looked at you and wondered the same thing. But I did it.
And I do it every day.
And I do. So I've given you love. Now you get to share that. And it's not a zero-sum game.
No.
His forgiveness and love never run out.
No. It's like there's always another project.
Yeah.
And we're that
Yes.
eternal project. But the carpenter has already set the plane perfectly, shown you how it works, and now says, here, there you
do
go.
it.
And we're not as good, but while he watches, we'll
Yep.
get better at it.
Yeah.
And we will.
And
so,
we listen to him, and he instructs us how to be
Yeah.
better at it.
But he's patient. I mean, after you and I fumble a little bit, he doesn't just snatch it out of our hands and say, no, you two are never going to get this right.
Yeah.
No, he said, okay, every day, forgive as I forgave you. I've set the tool. Now go and use it. Love and all the other things. Give has been given unto you. Another one. Yeah, absolutely. What do we got? Our next one. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse.
Yeah. How easy is that? And again, who is Paul talking to? And who is Jesus talking to in the Beatitudes, right? Love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you.
Yeah.
The persecution isn't really, it really wasn't the guy who used your coffee cup in the office, right? Oh,
Right.
It just drives me nuts, right? Oh.
Ate your lunch.
Yeah,
Oh, my gosh.
But these are people who are literally persecuting
Mm-hmm.
God's people, and he's saying, you got to love them.
And how did he do that? Father, forgive them. They do
Yeah.
not know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
They sure looked like they knew what they were doing.
You know,
You
and
know?
I've mentioned this before, and I probably mentioned it to you too. Listening on the radio, just as the Iraq War is beginning, the United States is ready to move into Kuwait.
Yeah.
And they got a whole line, right? Everybody, the military's lined up, ready to go in.
yeah. Okay.
And people were calling this station, saying, well, they got to go in with nukes. Well, they got to go get this guy, and they got to hang him, and what?
Yeah.
And one gentleman called in, and he said, I have a different approach.
Okay.
He said, my son is at one end of this line,
Yeah.
and my daughter-in-law is at the other.
Oh.
And they both will be going into battle most
Okay.
likely. Why don't we all pray for Saddam Hussein that he would come to know Jesus,
Yes.
and that the love that Jesus has for him would penetrate his heart so deeply that he would love others
Right.
in such a way that he would say, okay,
But-
we don't need to do this.
Right. Exactly. And all these lives saved.
And it was interesting because there was like dead air for
I
a
was
second.
thinking crickets. Yeah.
It was, oh my gosh. And the host said, excellent point. It's
Right.
a wonderful point.
How are you going to dissuade that? Yeah.
But it really overshadowed everybody who had a military idea on what needed to be done.
Exactly.
And this guy's got kids.
Who are going to walk into that place that you wanted now to explode nukes on.
Yeah.
And then my son or daughter-in-law are going to go there? I don't think so.
You know, just getting ready for, we've been talking about getting ready for this weekend's sermon. You're preaching
Right.
Saukville, I'm preaching here. And we've got the disciples who cast out demons, right?
Right.
But in Luke 9, and I think Mark 9 as well, they tried to cast out a demon.
Couldn't.
It didn't work. And then they asked Jesus, why not? This one's got to be done with prayer.
Exactly. Instead of looking down, why couldn't we conquer him, put him under our feet?
Yeah. Got to look up.
Got to look up.
And the only way to forgive, the only way to love, the only way to show mercy is if I'm looking down at that person, it's not going to happen.
No.
But if I look up at the one who has done that to me,
Exactly.
I can get her done.
And that's why Jesus says, don't count the demons beneath your feet as you're rejoicing. Rejoice, your names are written in heaven. What a diagonal difference.
Look up.
Yeah, and there they are.
We better not give away the whole sermon.
I know, it's all we got.
It's
I got one more show and tell I'm not using now.
Okay. It's a teaser. This
That's
was
right.
a teaser.
And that's all we're going to say.
So I just ruined one of your show and tell.
No.
Okay.
I'm not even going to tell you what it is.
Oh, good.
Because you'll want to work it in.
Oh, I will. I'll
and if
steal
you
it.
want to find out, come to church. Isn't that
Exactly.
great? Come to church. What more can we
Exactly.
say? We got one more panel.
Yep.
Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also the interests of others.
Yeah.
See, I think that's such a natural with this house idea.
Yep.
We've come into this house, we've prayed, we've given thanks, we've focused, and now we're not alone. So you walk into somebody's house and that they're already there, right? What are you going to naturally ask? What are you doing?
Yep.
What's this? I love going and making visits in people's homes.
Yeah.
There's a lineup of pictures, there's this or that, and it's so easy to say, wow, I've never seen one of those before. What's the story? 'Cause there's a story.
Yeah.
I think it's an easy, natural thing. I hope it is.
Yeah. Or coming home at night and your spouse says, how was your day?
Exactly.
Or the kids come in the door. What'd you learn in school today? Right?
Right. Usually we heard nothing.
Nothing. I know. And then you
Nothing.
figure out, why am I doing these tuition payments?
I always love Fayed, though, because I said, what did you do in Fayed? Because you could not say, we just sat there on the bleachers.
Yeah.
No, you must have done something.
Yeah.
You moved. Okay, we'll go for that. No offense to English or whatever, but
Put my sneakers on.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, I think it's a natural. You come into somebody's world, ask them about their world, not so that you can again crush them like a bug,
Right.
And say, oh, I did so much more. But that's really interesting. And when you make visits, people will tell you great stuff.
Yep.
So it's just a life pattern, I think. That one's straightforward, I think.
Paying attention to others.
What
was
concept?
Was it Colossians? Consider others better than yourself?
Philippians 2.
Philippians was also that,
Just before, have this mind among
Yep.
you. Yep. I think we have two more here. Well, this I guess we've essentially thought of this one already. But I tell you,
Come on. There we go.
love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And I always think when we hear that, we tend to say, but Jesus, really? Who does that? And then look at the one you're asking the question of. Oh,
You do.
you do. Exactly. I maybe don't.
Yeah.
Not as well as I should, but boy, you do.
Yeah.
You did.
We brought up the criminal on the cross last time, and it's, remember me when you come in your kingdom. Sorry, too late.
Yeah, right. And look at where you are and who you are. No.
Yeah. No,
No.
you don't qualify.
Yeah. But he comes into his kingdom assuring that this man will already be with me.
Yeah.
Can
you imagine the fury in the Pharisees as they're listening to this?
That's true. I never thought of that. Oh. He's promising a kingdom, himself as king, and this terrible person right there.
Yeah. And this guy doesn't even deserve to live on earth.
Right.
Because he's going to go to heaven now.
We're straight up. And today.
Today.
And in fact, what we're doing to him is the gate.
Yeah.
So, really, he can't wait.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get this over with. Yeah.
We're going
Amazing.
to heaven.
Going to heaven. One last one. Love is patient. Love is kind. Does not envy. Does not boast. It's not proud. It's not rude. It's not self-seeking. Not easily angered. Keeps no record of wrongs. This is the hallmark of what is love. passage. What I always loved about this is our world asks, where do I find someone who will love me?
Yep.
Where? That I want to find that person. How to find
We
the
have
right
apps
person.
for that.
Oh my gosh, yes, exactly. 1 Corinthians 13 doesn't tell you how to find that person, how to find love. It says, this is love.
This is love.
And I'm going back to this. You probably have someone like a forgotten plane that is exactly that person to love. What you need to be reminded is, what is that love?
Yeah.
Because that person is there.
And if, not if, because God is love, we can read this in another way, right? God
Yeah.
is patient. God is kind. God keeps no record of wrongs, right?
Exactly. Thank goodness for that,
Yeah.
because otherwise we're doomed.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's our word on love. We're in the middle of the house.
It's nice to be in the house.
We're inside the house, surrounded by those who both love us and we can love. There's something to do. Instead of thinking that there's a treasure I don't yet have, we maybe already have it.
And,
There we go.
And haven't treasured it.
Exactly.
And now we get to.
Next
Thank you.
week, we keep on going.
Yep.
We'll do a little remodeling. We'll just leave that as a teaser.
Remodeling.
Remodeling.
I like
Because
that.
once you're in the house and you're talking love, you maybe notice,
That wallpaper, that fuzzy wallpaper from the 70s.
oh, in yellow and green. Oh, yes.
I love it. With the
Yeah.
matching phone on the wall.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, isn't
Yes,
it?
in avocado.
Oh.
Green. With a long cord.
Oh, it's
Con-
all
oh,
curled
so-
up.
And if you undo it, it'll be right back
Oh,
tomorrow. Oh,
of
yeah.
course it
doesn't.
is.
Yeah, it's yeah. There we go. All right. All right.
Well, thanks for being with us. And we're here every Friday at
Yes.
12:05. We hope you are too. God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah.